The newsroom. This is where there's news in a room. I don't have any fucking groundbreaking news. I don't have anything that's going to change the world. I haven't found a cure for cancer or, you know, made peace in the Middle East or stopped the crisis at the border. Didn't solve fucking the hunger problems. I wasn't able to feed everybody. But I did fucking get on today to do a live, so it's fucking pretty much the same thing, honestly. It's pretty close. I mean, just keeping it 100. Just saying, keeping it a buck. Keeping it a buck. Kidding, joking, relax. I sit in the fucking basement. And the only fucking person that's close to a person, it's not a person or a thing, it's an animal, it's a dog. It's the only thing I have to talk to is a fucking dog. It's not like I expect the fucking dog to say anything back. So you, the audience, the people on the other side are the ones that make me keep coming back. So I thank you for that. And, you know, as far as any new shit goes, I don't know. I had a childhood friend die, best friend, 45 years, 46 years, because he just turned 49. So yeah, it's not like I want to get out here and talk about some sad shit, but yeah, that came out of nowhere. And this guy, God rest his soul, fucking millionaire. He was, very successful when it came to life and how he lived it and the things he was able to accomplish and acquire and obtain. But just like anything else, you live life to the fullest, yes, but certain things you should never do in excess. But that's a lesson that is often either never learned or learned too late. And in this case, unfortunately, I don't have an answer. There's nothing that anybody could ever say after the loss of somebody else. And I say this from personal experience. It's not that like I don't have any emotion about it. It's not the first time that I've lost somebody, and I know it won't be the last either. And there again, not trying to be negative about the shit, and I'm just saying, it's just fact. It's how the cycle of life works. Our time here is finite, and you know, he was Jewish. I'm Jewish, so according to what is said, we are supposed to live our best life here while we have the time to be here, while we're here. But with that said, certain things shouldn't be done and other things should be observed. And if you do these things, live a clean life, live a holy life, live a good life, do what you're supposed to do, obey the certain laws, obey the certain rules, then you're going to be better off here in the flesh, and you know you'll live without regrets versus the way my friend went out. Like I said, he was a millionaire. He had anything and everything he wanted. Right now he was living in Florida. He was living in Little Moscow. It's a place called Sunny Isles, Florida. I guess it's between Hollywood and Miami. It would be North Miami Beach area. So it's got a large Russian population, large Russian community, large Sephardic Jew community. So a lot of Russians, a lot of Jews, a lot of money. His place, I've never been to it, but I understand that it's nice. So, and he's got out here in Kansas City a place, a couple $1 million mansion that I've been to many a times. So, you can have all the things you want in this world, have all the money you want in this world, and have all the things in this world that could possibly keep you happy, keep you, you would think entertained. And even without that, even if he didn't have millions of dollars in mansions and the never ending, never gonna hit rock bottom type of mentality, and the thing that he had the most, he had kids, and three of them, three boys, God bless them. And yeah, it's sad stuff. Never like a joyful thing when somebody goes, unless it's like a dictator that nobody likes or just, a bad person. But in this case, it's neither. So it's one of those deals, like I said, you gotta be able to deal with the inevitable, and at some point in time, whether you believe it or not, it's gonna eventually happen to everybody. But I will say, as being one of the few people that actually went and saw the body, because due to Jewish tradition, you're not allowed to have an open casket and there's no cremation. Basically, there's not necessarily a heaven or a hell, though there is, but it's kind of it's strange. You have X amount of time to get the body in the ground before the soul leaves, and there's a lot to it. But this happened, and he passed away in Florida, but he's here, in Kansas City, as far as where he's laid to rest, and this happened while he was in Florida, and maybe this is my way of dealing with it without sobbing and going into tears. But I'm not that kind of guy. I never have been, even when I've experienced loss it's close like this, whether it be my mother or my best friend, etc. It's one of those things that it's not that it isn't sad or doesn't affect you. It just affects you differently, and whether it's holding it in and not letting it right on your shoulder so everybody else can see it, but doing the exact opposite by keeping others, help them keep their shit together because you're not losing yours, if that makes sense. So, uh, I have none but utmost respect for him, and I miss him, but I know that he's doing better wherever he is, and that depending on what it is you believe and what you believe in, there's always going to be room for debate, and it's all subjective anyways. But in my heart of hearts, I think that he's happier now than he was when he was here, and no amount of money or no thing on this earth, unfortunately not even flesh and blood children, was enough to keep him around here any longer than 49 years. So unfortunately he's not here anymore, but gone but never forgotten. So yeah, it's always sad. It's a tragedy, and it's one that could and should have been avoided 100%. 100%. Unfortunately, nothing you can do. And you've heard me say before, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. You know what I mean? But if you live fast and you do so for so long, and you're never going to slow down, and you know that you're never going to run out of funds, so you're never going to hit a rock bottom, you're never going to be scraping for pennies to try to get your next fix when it comes to fix the poison of choice being alcohol in this case. And it's not like a big secret. I'm not trying to say anything bad about them. I'm just saying that alcoholism is a real thing, whether it's a disease. I guess you could debate that too. I think it turns into the category of disease because it completely changes the individual that was there once, and depending on the severity of, how long, how much, and what they're drinking, how often, etc. That probably varies from person to person, and based on anything else that they may or may not be doing. Like God, he wasn't doing anything else. Just couldn't put down the bottle. Yeah. But one of those things that you can't explain, and You lose somebody, it always hurts a little bit, sometimes more than a little bit, and sometimes you don't go out on the best terms. You're not guaranteed tomorrow, so him and we made peace, which is why I had to see him when I did see him. And, it's not morbid curiosity or anything like that. I don't get off on, seeing dead bodies or anything like that. It's not what I'm saying at all. But at some point, you have to face trauma and reality to make sure that you're alive and you're doing okay. But you also have to see what happens when you're not here anymore at the same time, because that's it. You have nothing but sad people around you that wish you were here. And yeah, at times it looks like you just wake right up and just boom, pop right out. But no, no, not the not the case. There, yeah, there's no coming back, at least not in the way that we can ever understand or the way that I could ever understand. And nobody's been able to explain it to me or anybody else that I know of in a way that makes a whole lot of sense. So that's what it is. So may he rest in peace. Love him. And miss him just the same. So I wish the rest of the family and everybody that is hurting right now to be strong and to stay strong and to keep his memory alive and not to be frightened or worried or, don't. He's good. He's okay. He's okay. If everybody's religious and believes in the same thing, then we all know he's just fine. So let's do that. I think that's a good idea, and I think it probably make him happy too. And if I know him, he's probably having a drink right now, just laughing it up. Yeah, something like that. Aside from that, with me, what do I got? Shit, like it's Groundhog Day for me every day. And I'm not trying to get negative. I hate to do it. I'm not over here trying to get on every time spewing negative shit. I just, fuck, man. Who am I going to talk to? A 10-year-old girl? My daughter? No. A 15-year-old son with the car? No. My wife with her own business that is pretty much married to that as much as she is me. And, you know, it's not a pity party or anything like that. I'm trying not to sound like I'm complaining, though it might come off that way. I'm really not, because I'm blessed to be here and I'm blessed to have my family who loves me, even though I'm not asking them to spend every waking moment with me. I'm just saying that I don't get a lot of interaction. And that's because there's school and there's friends and life goes on. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I got big shoulders so I can take things, that kind of thing, and keeping it together. Which leaves me with going on, the social medias and just talking. Doesn't have to be about anything special, because with as many people there are out there and as many problems as people have, myself included, people can relate and empathize with what I have to say. And I feel that to be true. I don't think I'm being dishonest, and I don't think that I'm lying to myself by any means. So, there for a while, I wouldn't say that I'm not angry now, but being in this position versus where I was before, I would much rather be back in the working force, but under my terms, which means that I would rather have my own business as I had for, decades. And I was my own boss and I took care of the people that worked for me and I made sure that they were okay, their families were okay. And I don't know that anybody's gonna sit there and challenge what I say. If they do, fuck them, they're lying. So I'm not telling you that I'm the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread or some kind of fucking saint. Yeah, I'm not in line for sainthood or anything like that, but I was a pretty fucking good guy to work with and good guy to work for. And as long as you did your job, I never broke your balls. I never fucking sat there and fucking gave you a hard time. I would help you out. I'd be in the fucking trenches with you. So I would give up what I do now, which is, I mean, people have this misconception that if you don't do anything, then you're obviously happy, you're doing good. No, it's exactly the opposite. I mean, it's fucking terrible when you don't really have a whole lot to do because you're limited on your mobility and pain. You don't always know when you're going to stay away. That's why you always see me with energy drinks. Or if you, there's so many, long story, different channel, small channel now, is like fucking 8 people watching now, or 8 viewers on YouTube. I don't know. I went from monetized to relegated because I was a little too spicy. And who knows? Maybe I'm being a little too spicy now. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are anymore. I don't know what right from wrong is when it comes to the PC of, semantics of what should be and shouldn't be said, because you wouldn't want to offend anybody, but you would like to give up your right to free speech. Not talk about hate speech because there are always repercussions. But, you know, don't sit here and tell me that the system works in everyone's favor, because I'm telling you right now, it does not. And this is not me venting, I'm just being honest. Kind of like, you know, I was encouraged to get a job. I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? What can you do? Well, I could be a cryptozoologist. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I could just talk about bullshit that doesn't exist all day while I'm fucking awake and coherent. But other than that, I mean, there's cryptozoology, there's ufology. I mean, I can get fucking degrees that don't exist and things that don't matter and discuss that shit all day long. Uh, I'm like, fuck a job. First off, 5, 6 days a week? You want me to fucking come into work and spend more time here in this motherfucker and care more about work and a job that's not even my own? It's not like I own this motherfucker. And then you want to pay me shit? Sorry, but I value myself a little bit more than the average human being because I actually know what I'm worth. If you understand, then good for you. If you don't understand, I'll explain. You have to make sure that you under promise and over deliver. Okay? You don't want to say you're the man. You want to be the man. That's like this alpha male shit that makes no sense to me. An alpha male, there's 7 types of male personalities. Alpha is just like a culmination of all of them, if you will. The best of the best, okay, when it comes to all the traits. So there's alpha, there's beta, there's sigma, there's gamma, there's delta. What else? There's zeta, and that's O. Then you got your omega. I don't think I missed any. If I did, then I'm not gonna count again because I don't know. If I said here, fuck, I'm gonna count again. Fuck. OCD. Alpha 1, beta 2, delta 3, gamma 4, sigma 5, omega or zeta 6, and omega 7. So yeah, I was right. There we go. And I don't want to go into each personality trait because I don't have them all memorized in proper order. But anyway, Alpha males don't sit here and tell you that they're alpha males because they have no need to any more than I would expect to put on a pair of Jordans and be the best on the fucking basketball court. Just not going to happen. So, alpha males don't need to tell you that they're alpha males and that they're better, or richer, or smarter, or stronger, or anything like that. That's a bunch of bullshit. You know what it is? It's the way that you carry yourself, the way that you treat others. And sometimes people, I'm not saying deserve to be mistreated, but sometimes you got to fucking put motherfuckers in check. That's not an alpha male thing. That's just a fucking normal human reaction. You see something that's not right, you fucking make sure that you try to right the wrong. That's nothing new. Hi, but that's true. It's absolutely true. And all the other male types, as far as personality traits are concerned, if you guys want me to make a video about it and go through and explain how it all works, then I'll be more than happy to do so. You know, I prefer going live. I honestly do. I don't like, I don't mind the short form stuff. It's fine. I like, I like it because it's just fucking simple and anybody can do it. Anybody. A nutless monkey can do it. And I'm telling you that it doesn't require very much effort, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with pushing the easy button. It's okay. But I'm not always talking about doing shit the easy way because sometimes you got to fucking climb that mountain in order to get to the peak. You know what I'm saying? You want to be on top, and that's not an alpha male thing. It's just the things that we want to strive and achieve are going to require work and dedication and a little bit of effort. Nothing's going to get handed to you. You got to work hard. But sometimes it takes more than hard work and it takes faith and trust. But anyway, but yeah, the whole job thing. Why would I want to put myself in a position when I'm not capable of doing something? And, you know, generally, if there's something that is painful for you and you don't want to be in pain, then you're gonna stray away from participating in such activities like walking, standing, you know, being stagnant to a point, and it's something that it's not pleasant. And yeah, you can medicate yourself. There's truth in that. The problem with medicating yourself is you become dependent on it. The more you medicate yourself, the more you need in order to stay up and stay with it. And in order to do that, that requires you to up the ante, up the dose. Now, I'm not a believer in it, though I am medicated properly, I might add. Not like, you know, street pharmaceuticals in a bathtub by some guy who lives in a fucking trailer park that's been hit by a tornado. Anyway, so yeah, fucking 5, 6 days a week. No, I can't. It's physically not possible. Not at this point in time. Not until I get this case going, which is next month. Pray for me that it all goes my way. To back this DRG implant, so maybe I could fucking be without pain, maybe get some sleep like a normal person, and get a little bit of normalcy back in my life. Maybe start to, do things like be intimate with my lady, wife of going on 18 years next month. So, God willing. Yeah, man. Yeah. When I say man, I don't mean that in just, I mean, look, if I say man, I mean that in like, look, man. It's like if you were a female and I'm like, "Hey, look, lady," I don't want to do that. I'm like, look, man, everybody's in that category, all right. But if I say, "Look, lady," that just kind of narrows it down. I don't want to make everybody, think that I'm just trying to call you a woman because that's not my thing. Crazy, but it's true. Yeah. Yeah. Life's funny. It's funny. You gotta fucking, live your life to the fullest, man. But not do things in excess and live a good life. Live a clean, healthy life, you know? Help others out, and try to better your fellow man if possible. You know, if you want to believe that somebody's looking over your shoulder and making sure that you're, staying on the right path, then I think that you should do that if that's what you want to believe. Whatever makes you not want to go on a kill crazy rampage and lose your shit or turn into a drug addict or a raging alcoholic or, you know, a murderer or a serial killer or any of the above. I don't think that you want to do any of that. I don't think it's necessary. So try to abstain from that if possible. And by the way, in case you were curious, the studio's over there, the other studio's over here, but I got my guitar that I've been practicing on. You know, I got a bunch of shit over here. There's the Jordan. Anybody ever showed Jordans? But anyway, so I'm getting some things worked out. Been working on this music thing. I'm not telling you I'm like a fucking musical genius or anything, but I did play when I was younger, the bass and the piano. And now I'm teaching myself the guitar. A lot of people say you should start out with the acoustic because it's a lot easier. And I don't disagree with them, but I don't want to go down easy street. So I would rather be, I don't know. I'd rather start hard and then just, you know what, go all in. So I try to stay awake to practice my guitar. When I say guitar, I mean guitar, but I said guitar anyway, not because I'm a, you know what I said. Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to get on here, build the consistency. I was on last night, and then I looked at it after I was done with the fucking stream, and I'm like, good God, that was awful. But I've got my fucking shit that I need to finish setting up on my new PC setup that I got. I think I used it once. I don't even remember. My son's been playing Roblox on it, and once I move some things around, which I plan on having him help do or actually do for me. I'm just going to instruct, manage, if you will, make sure it goes swimmingly. And then he'll be able to play his Roblox, and I'll be able to create my music in a more controlled, comfortable environment as to what I'm currently in. And then just getting on consistently. And, it's not so much IRL or anything else. It's, it gives me something to do. It might be something somebody else needs to hear. Eventually, maybe somebody would want to interact with me or post a comment or fucking give me a like, whatever, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. Don't do anything at all. That's up to you guys. So I don't want to take up any more of anybody's day. Half hour is a good start on my way back. I don't need to sit here for 2 hours and fucking be the echo chamber like everybody else. I just threw a bunch of shit out at you. I think working fucking more than 3 to 4 days a week for anybody is unnecessary. There's more than enough people out there. I went out for jobs already in the past, regardless of my experience or my slick tongue or anything else. Nobody's trying to hire the disabled crippled guy that has a fucking limp and a chip on the shoulder for many a reason. But that's okay. I am an optimist, and I will remain so, and a realist at the same time. So let's keep it 100. You got to be able to balance things, just like justice is blind, weighing the scales of sorts. Find that even median in between to where you can function and be able to be yourself while being genuine and authentic and perceived that way by others without having to be like a fucking clone or try to impress people. No, just be yourself. Fuck. If people don't like you, fuck them. Just who gives a shit? All right. Life's not a popularity contest. Life's a marathon, but you need to be able to participate to the fullest in order to live it to the fullest and make the most out of it. So I leave you with that thought. Dwell on it for just a short amount of time. Count your blessings. Be thankful for those that you have in your life that care about you and are genuine. And I will probably cut this up into some shorts. And aside from that, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. It's your fucking boy. Sorry about it being all dark. You're not missing anything. You're really not. I just fucking chilling in the dark. Just whatever. It's not like grunge or anything. I'm good. Anyway, thank you guys. Be good. Be happy. Make the most out of your day. Don't treat people like shit, even if they try to get in your face, unless they're a threat to you. Don't do anything that isn't necessary. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not trying to incite any violence because YouTube's kind of fucking bunch of fucking pussies sometimes. Just saying. Anyway, I don't want to keep babbling here. Thank you again. Be good. We'll talk again tomorrow. In the meantime, I might cut some shorts later on, but thank you again. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do with that subscribe, like, notification, and yeah, thank you guys very much. We'll talk again soon. Goodbye. I'm out. Peace.
I got broads in Atlanta, just took the lean in the family, credit cards and the scammers, hitting the licks in the van, legacies.